So I have my sketchbook here. Just wanted to go over some stuff I drew. I got the sketchbook like almost 2 months ago, so it's like pretty new. So I still haven't shown my other sketchbook that I almost finished, but yeah. So just like some stuff I drew. When I drew this, I actually like how this came out. Kind of like semi-realistic stuff. The whole point of me doing this, drawing like this, was because to get a better understanding of like shadows and overall shadows and lighting. So there was a YouTube video where I watched where they do kind of explain it well, where he was like, sometimes the best way to figure out shadows and lighting is to simplify everything. So just use black and white. So for example, like around here, I did like black around the eyes, and then like the hair, and then like right here too. So it came up pretty solid for like my first attempt, but it kind of made me understand like shading and stuff, and like about the face and stuff like that. Some of this is kind of BS and like kind of like filler stuff, but with this one, I've been reading Gachiku. This is back when I was like reading Gachicuda. I'm all caught up now, but this is probably like my favorite character design in all of the whole manga. Dear Santa, the kid. Like his character design is hella cool, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like the half black, half white. But I drew that with like a Sharpie. So a lot of these I drew with like a Sharpie. I don't know why, but for me, I feel like I draw better with the Sharpie, or like, and I'm an impatient drawer, so yeah, I don't really have too much about that, but yeah, but I drew. This one I also drew too. It was like some dude I referenced, but it didn't come out as good as I thought. But when I drew it at the time, it looked pretty good. Also, like pencil sketches here too, but it's whatever. I drew some more stuff. This one is kind of like really simple and stupid, but I like it, like blue and red. But yeah. So in this sketchbook, I started using more color. Previous sketchbooks, I barely was using color, but I kind of like try to get more comfortable using color. So like right here, it's nothing special, but trying to like shade with like different colors and stuff, it kind of helped me understand color and stuff like that. And even on this one too. Yeah. And this one turned out better than I thought, especially this one. The coloring doesn't look that like amazing, especially like the shading and shapes and stuff, but it came out better than I thought. And this one kind of messed up. I kind of drew the outline of the face like too dark, the Sharpie. But I just kind of like was like, F it, let me just draw whatever. Let me just color and like do a whole like drawing, color and finish. See how it comes out. And it came out decent. But yeah. So one thing I also learned is when it comes to coloring, I learned to simplify everything. So use like two colors. Like I use two colors for the faces, and then anything else is like I leave it on color for the highlights. But yeah. So this one is probably my favorite page at this point, because I haven't really drawn anything like that good as far as coloring. But this one I really took my time and then used color theory. So I try to use colors that complement like skin color and stuff like that. So yeah. And then this one, I kind of didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was copying someone else's like I referenced someone else's like art and stuff. So I did this, and this is kind of more like filler. And that's the thing about sketchbooks, and everything has to be like amazing. So some more BS. This one was alright. I don't like the color. of that I chose to shade the face with. So I'm not really the biggest fan of that, but it came out like decent. And yeah, more of this, more color. I like how I did the eyes, how the eyes have like more depth in coloring and stuff. And as you see with the face, what I've realized over time is to use more shapes when you're coloring, when you're dealing with like shading, and when you're dealing with like shading the face. Like for this one, like for like how I did like the dark coloring right here, I used more like, it's more like a triangular or rhombus. Basically, like, I use the color to like represent like the eye socket. But yeah, my coloring is more like, it has more of a direction to it than previously. But yeah, so I'm proud of that. I'm improving on that because I think I can draw very well. It's just that when it comes to shading, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand color theory and like shading, and sometimes less is more. So this is more sketch BS and stuff that was experimenting with. Drew more stuff. And here, I like Gachikuda's art style because it's very easy to like digest and like understand. I think it's aesthetically pleasing, but also it's like pretty, like the facial features are so sometimes over exaggerated to the point where you're like, you can kind of understand. But yeah, some more pencil sketches, but this was like whatever. More stuff here. I tried to like experiment with different colors. This came out like shit. This was terrible. This was also bad too. It didn't come out how I wanted. It came out alright, but not how I wanted. But yeah, ignore this. It was kind of like some meme stuff. Also, in my opinion, drawing memes are like so much. Like it helps so much. Like when you draw memes and stuff like that, it helps so much for me, in my opinion. I do this one. I referenced someone else's drawing that was referencing the Burger King guy on the airplane, and this is supposed to be Suguru. What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. Ghetto. Yeah. I'm stupid. It's supposed to be Ghetto. Saying get off the plane. Because I'll get those racist and stuff. Well, quote unquote racist. He refers to people as monkeys. And the drawing right here. This was I referenced Higuruma from JJK, if I'm not mistaken. I referenced him for this drawing, like when he was doing like this pose. So I put like a meme there. And then this one was just basic red pen, black pen. And then this was, I like this because the hands, I messed up on this one really bad, but everything else is, the hands are pretty good. Random like hand pose and another one. And this is Demon Dogs. It's supposed to be Gojo. More Sharpie. When it comes to drawing hands, I like drawing hands a lot. Like, I think hands are really aesthetically pleasing. But get some more stuff through here. I'm gonna try to end this recording at like 10 minutes. But this one. This is Lead Never Follow. This is a Chief Keef meme. And then more stuff here. This is like some BS. I mess up on it. Like stuff like this, I'm not afraid to show because at the end of the day, no matter how good you draw, we're gonna have unfinished drawings and stuff that, or like drawings that look so stupid that you don't even want to post. But I'm not afraid to show stuff like this because like I have days where I don't know what I'm drawing, and this was like clearly a fail. But I'll kind of end it off here. I want to make more videos on like certain things I've learned over the years in general that help me, because a lot of things, in my opinion, when it comes to drawing, a lot of people focus on trying to get to the end goal as quick as possible and using like a formula to get like what they want. But it's like a lot of it, you have to like comprehend what you're drawing. A lot of the times, what I've learned over time, like recently, is that sometimes when you draw, take your time and like sit there before you make any um like pen stroke or brush stroke or pencil stroke. Like sit there and actually like examine what you're about to draw. Like examine where you're about to put the next line at. Don't just mindlessly draw. Try to at least like take your time and like know what you're drawing and kind of understand concepts of certain things. But yeah, that's enough yapping. I'm gonna end it off here.